What's good, guys? This is We Love Mike. So today's vlog, I'll be discussing two topics this time. One or both may connect to each other, but we'll see as this video goes by. First off, I want to talk about faith. Well, like I said before, I'm not religious, but very important to note, I am not atheist. I just love God and that's it, because the fact that He created the entire world proves that He's real. Well, the Bible too, but to be honest, I don't really read the Bible as much. I only read it like when I have Bible class, or if I have homework. First of all, let me tell you how it all started. When I was like at least 8 years old, I used to go to church, but during the first few weeks, I was a little more impatient. And I think I remember saying something one day that I totally regret saying. And my last day at church was before the pandemic started, where in 2020, I was worrying about death and the end of the universe. That's what really scared me. So to get my mind off of it, I read the Bible frequently. It was a little kiddie version of it. Then I asked myself, and some other people, will we be reborn? When I asked that question, I soon realized that I was partially Christian. So after a year of Christian practice, I decided to move on without a religion. Nowadays, I currently have faith in God, only because He created the world. However, since my parents are religious, my mom especially, they still pressure me into doing some religious things. Here, I'll give you an example. My mom doesn't want me using the Lord's name in vain, saying, "Oh my God." Well, I've got something to say about that. Just because I say "oh my God" does not necessarily mean I take the Lord's name in vain. It's just a lot of people say "oh my God" in everyday language, which I don't think my mom will ever understand. And another example of religious belief, my family prays on Thanksgiving. Look, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to holidays such as Thanksgiving and Christmas, I'm usually more of a secular person. I still show love and I still show gratitude. I mean, when I pray, I do so at the Christian school I'm currently attending. But when I graduate, I'll occasionally pray, like whenever I feel any strong emotion, like anxiety, depression, or anger. I've actually done so a few times before. And that leads into our next topic, emotions. Most of the time, I'm usually patient and calm, which I've been saying a couple times now. At school, nothing affects me. But there's a certain part in my mind where if I can't find anyone to talk to, I start to get all emotional because not a lot of people are hospitable towards me. I mean, some people are hospitable to me. I made a promise to myself, though, that I will always perform unity to support each other, which is actually a theme I'm inserting in this song I'm producing called Peacemaker. I'm still working on it. It may be released later this month or December. But in that month, I want to release a Christmas album. I'll release it on here and this music website called BandLab. But anyway, at home I deal with everyday family issues, which I think my parents, probably my sister and some other family members too, are dysfunctional. They may not be dysfunctional, but that's what I think. And when I say those things, it makes me feel like I'm being cynical. Now, I'm not saying I am cynical, it's just I'm a grown ass teenager and I just have so much shit going on in life. And I also don't feel independent enough because mostly my parents don't comprehend what I try to explain to them. My dad especially, because he's mentally ill. I don't know if I told you guys already about the mental part, but I just don't like to talk about it. And the day before my birthday, I once told my mom that I have this YouTube channel. And when I told her, she threatened to look at it because she doesn't think I'm being responsible. So since then, I try to be secretive about it. Also, I talk to myself a lot, which actually annoys both of my parents. Well, my mom is oblivious, but my dad gets pissed off every time I talk to myself. He just doesn't understand that self-talk is part of the personality of an autistic person, including even myself. Alright, I'm gonna recap what I discussed. I have faith in my own space. And what I believe is that fate shouldn't be forced. And when I grow into an adult, I will have my own Declaration of Independence. And that wraps up today on We Love Mike. If you enjoyed that, please share this with your friends, subscribe for more vlogs like this, and click the bell for notifications.